Okay, this is Ali at LoreKeeper. I'm just going to create a quick little video just to give an overview of Lore, how Lore works in LoreKeeper, how to upload it, how to add it to your project, and how it can affect your prompt response. When referring to Lore in LoreKeeper, this basically means anything that you, any of your own content that you have either uploaded to a world or added to Lore through the conversation, and that is then saved to that project, and it's used to give context to the prompts and the responses that you give to LoreKeeper. So LoreKeeper, you put your prompt in, it goes and does a RAG search on all the lore and the content you've uploaded, uses that to formulate the final prompt, which then the response comes back. So I'll show you the different ways of uploading the lore and some of the ways it can affect the prompt, the response rather. To do that, we're going to use a brand new project called Revelry Ridge 2.0. It's an empty project. We've got no lore uploaded. We've got no added lore there as well. The world settings are pretty simple. So this is the description of the project, which will be used as context to the prompt, as we'll see in a bit. So this will affect the reply from LoreKeeper. So will this. This is, I've just told it to be my creative assistant, but this is what I'm more interested in today. So we've got a district. It's a lively area filled with gaming houses, brothels and taverns. So when we do our first little prompt, we're going to ask for an overview of Revelry Ridge and ask it for 2 locations I'd find there. In the moment, all it knows is it's a district with gaming houses and brothels. So it'll use that and it will then create 2 locations. So this is what we've got. So it gives me an overview, pulling from the description, it's gaming houses, brothels and taverns. Then it's created some text fluff around that. And then it's done the same with 2 different locations. So we've got the Gilded Dice, which is a gaming house, perfect for Revelry Ridge, and Siren's Quarter Tavern. There's nothing specific, really, any of these. They've created Lady Seraphina, and what have they done? This one, and the Great Large Brothel. The main attraction here is the music. So this is all, and a nice, they've made up the Captain Orga. So this has been created based on the small description we have. We're now going to add a very brief, this is a Google Doc. You can see that, yep. So this is an overview that I've done for this test. It gives a little bit more details about Revelry Ridge in the overview, and it also gives the details of a casino here. So I'm going to copy this link. I've got this link set so that anybody can view it. And then we're going to add it to Lore. So I'm going to use the Google import function here. Just paste that link and import it there. Cool. So the file is uploaded. It'll be in our uploaded Lore. Doesn't surprise me it hasn't got a title yet. Sometimes I need to give it a little refresh. And I have found a little bug sometimes that this file isn't pulling in the file name. So that might be a little bug I need to talk to Nate about. Let's have a look if it's got itself sorted out. So it's not found a title at the moment. It doesn't matter, it'll still work for our intents and purposes. So I'm just going to name this conversation. So I've got a bit of, this is description only. We're going to start. The reason I name this is just so that I've got a little bit of order as I get more and more conversations coming, so I can know what I'm looking back on. This one is going to be with imported gdoc. And we're going to use the same prompt, and we'll see what the difference is now we've actually uploaded some lore. So what this will do, this will ask the same prompt to LoreKeeper. It'll search the lore, but the lore now has a little bit more context. So we should see the prompt reply reflecting that new context that we've got. So we've got Revelry Ridge overview. So it's just looking again at what we added here. So it's talking about the season, and it's got the Wheel of Casino known as the Wheel of Fate. So I'd expect those things to be reflected in the reply. So straight away it's talking about the season, and it's talking about the Wheel of Fate here, which is good. So it's pulled this from the uploaded lore, and then when we've asked it to give us 2 locations, one of which is the Wheel of Fate. So it's used that and it's embellished that with some context which it seems relevant. It's talked about the Velvet Hand, which is nice, which was in the document here, which is one of the families that controls the area, so it's pulling that out. And then this one again, it's created the second location for us based on the lore and the description that's up there. So next up, I'm going to actually get some more information about Sunhaven, which is the town that Revelry Ridge is part of, and this is the document we're going to use. This is a gdoc. It's got lots of information about the rest of the town. It's got some information here on Revelry Ridge because Revelry Ridge is halfway up the eastern or western slope, I think, so it's got a little bit more information about it, but this whole document we are going to take into our project, and this using this I'll show you how you can import lore from other projects. This document, the Town of Sunhaven 2.0, it's one of the building blocks of my Beggar's Birth project. So I can go and find that, which happens to be here. This is where you can search all your lore from your other worlds. I can filter out Beggar's Birth. Here's all the Beggar's Birth ones. Or we can go and have a look at, what should we look at? My vampire campaign. These are all my little docs that I made for my vampire campaign. This is something I made to help me when I was running the Curse of Strahd campaign, and I wanted to ask Strahd whether or not it was a good idea to take on the players this way. But we're going to go here. We're going to import that document. So that's now linked to Revelry Ridge 2.0, and we can see here it's linked in there. So now we're going to do the same prompt to LoreKeeper. Let's see how this works. Similar to the last one. Let's see if there's what sort of differences we're looking at. Seems to be a little bit more detailed. It's obviously, I mean, it's hard to say exactly what it's doing to get that information, but it's pulled that in as more of the context. Now I am going to, the other way we can add lore is by clicking the Add to Lore button. So if we click this here, this saves this piece of this prompt into lore, so it'll then be referred to lore. So Siren's Call Tavern is now part of lore. If you need to tweak and change this, I'll show you how you can do this as well. So now we go to our lore and we look at the added lore section. Give it a little refresh, which I often find you have to do if you've just added something that doesn't turn up where you think it should be. Just give it a little refresh. This is another little bug we're looking at. There we go, Revelry Ridge 2.0. Because I haven't given a name, it just calls it Revelry Ridge 2.0. But let's have a little look. You can view your added lore. Here we go. So this is what we're looking at. Now, I am going to change this and edit this a bit. So I'm just going to get rid of all this. I don't need that. And I'm just going to keep this the Siren's Call Tavern. So I want just to add this bit of lore. Siren's Call Tavern. It's one of the most popular taverns. Let's change something here. It's known for its lively atmosphere, excellent ale, and an amazing singer called Serenity, who is a siren. Confirm that. So that is now, and let's just give it a title as well. Right. This is just for my own reference, so I can see what's going on. So if we look at that, that's saved. And just to test that, to make sure, let's go back and do the same prompt, but this time let's ask it for 3 locations. Now hopefully it's going to bring out 2 that are saved in lore and a new one. The Wheel of Fate Casino, lovely. Siren's Call Tavern. Let's see what's going to... It's remembered the singer called Serenity, so that's now based in lore in a new conversation. And we've got the Velvet Rose Brothel. So hopefully that gives an idea of how lore can be added to your project and how it can influence the prompt responses. Lore is used to give context to your prompt responses. The other way that LoreKeeper uses memory, if you like, for its context of prompt responses is in the conversation. So within this conversation, it will remember what we have said before to a certain point. As you flick between conversations, it will not remember. It will not be able to refer to other parts of different conversations unless you have saved things to lore. I hope that makes sense. If anybody's got any questions about these bits and pieces, because using lore and understanding lore is quite fundamental to LoreKeeper, pop it in any comments below or just hook us up on the Discord as well. Hopefully this video was useful. Take care.